The Georgetown Raiders were missing 5 players last week to the Eastern Canada Cup, but on Saturday they had their full roster going again, and they flexed their muscles against St. Mike's. More on that later in the show. This is the OJ Today. Welcome, folks. I'm Alex Bastiansky. On this week's show, Brent Hughes, head coach of the North York Rangers, joins me here in the studio to chat about his squad's performance so far this year. Also, we'll have a feature story on the two-time defending OJ champs, the Toronto Patriots, who've been coming on strong as of late. But first, let's get to those Gong Show Gear game highlights. And the Stouffville Spirit will be the first to tell you they stunk at the start of the season. There's no other way to put it. The Spirit didn't pick up their first win until 11 games into the campaign, but they've upped their play recently and scored big wins over OJ Power's Kingston and Buffalo. And they were looking to keep the strong play going against Oakville last Friday. Game highlights now brought to you by Gong Show Gear. Gong Show Gear, lifestyle hockey apparel, official sponsor of the Ontario Junior Hockey League. And as mentioned, Stouffville got off to a brutal start this season, but had won 4 of their last 5 heading into Oakville, and they strike first. Just 5'11" in. Christopher Brill Morgan wraps home the rebound off the point shot, and it's 1-0 for the Spirit. Connor McCollum had a huge game for Stouffville. Oakville's Ryan Garvey goes one-on-one with him late in the first, but the Spirit keeper gets down Gumby style to make the great stop. On to the second frame we go. Stouffville keeps up the strong play. Chad Burrows tips home the Max Novick point shot, and the Spirit go up by a deuce just 28 seconds into the period. Oakville's Patrick Kudla nearly gets one back here. Just listen. Right off the goalie's best friend. But then moments later, with the man advantage, Tyler Rollo just floats a shot in from the blue line and finds the back of the net. The Blades cut the lead in half. It's now 2-1. That's how it stayed into the third period, where the action was fast and furious. First, it's Josh Kosak out front to Christian Rajic for the one-timer, and we're all knotted up 3:53 into the period. But then Alex Williamson dines out on a juicy Blades giveaway here, and boom, the Spirit regain their 1-goal advantage. It's 3-2. Patrick Kudla, though, has been clutch for the Blades all year, and that trend continues in this game. Give this guy an inch, and he'll take a mile every time. This wrister evens things up at 3 apiece. And then, with just 1:48 left, Bryce Misley goes to work. That is the winner for Oakville, as the Blades erase a 2-goal Stouffville advantage and come back for the huge win. 4-3 your final. Heartbreak for the Spirit, who looked solid the whole game but just couldn't close it out. The Blades also beat Markham on Sunday and now have a 3-game win streak going. Okay, the Junior Canadians traveled to Whitby to take on the Fury last Friday. Before the game, the Fury had auctioned off their pink in the rink jerseys worn a few weeks back, and they presented a check for the money raised for cancer research. Awesome, guys. Scoreless into the second period. Brandon Bonello standing on his head for the JRCs. First, he stops Zach Fisher on what looks like a sure goal, and then moments later, he stands tall to deny Brock Welsh from in close, and then for good measure, he stones Welsh once more. They were firing blanks until the third period, which is 14 seconds left. Anthony Trujillo brings the magic, going roof daddy over Daniel Manella. That was the game winner. Toronto added an empty netter for good measure to make it a 2-0 final. Whitby has lost some heartbreakers this year, and this one ranks right up there with the most painful so far. Well, the Aurora Tigers may be presently leading the North Division, but one squad this team doesn't like to face are the Wellington Dukes. The boys from Prince Edward County had dropped the Cats both times they'd played this year, and they continued their dominance over them last Saturday. An interesting little schedule quirk had these teams facing off for the second time in a week. Wellington won 3-1 last week. A good start for the Cats, though. Darren Ewa with the picture-perfect feed to Alex Formenton, who tips at home. Aurora lead the Dukes 1-0. Dylan Mascarin, though, was dominant for Wellington. First, he feeds Luke Brown, whose quick wrister beats the stunned Alex Fotinos. And then it's Mascarin again, right in the middle of things. Ultimately, it's Brown knocking home the rebound to make it 2-1 for the Dukes. Jump ahead to the second period now. Dukes up 3-1. Mascarin threads it to Brown, but Fotinos comes up with the monster stop to keep it a 2-goal bulge. That's as close as Aurora would get. 3-1 the final. Mascarin, as mentioned, he had a game, a goal plus 2 helpers to pace the Dukes on this day. Okay, OJHL trivia for this week, and the question is, what NCAA school did Oakville Blades defenseman Patrick Kudla recently commit to? Which school? If you don't know it, go to ojhl.ca for the answer. First person with the correct answer wins 2 tickets to a game at the 2015 World Junior A Challenge. The first to email Isaac Westgate, that's iwestgate@theojhl.ca, wins. The event taking place in Cobourg and Whitby, December 13th to 19th. Be the first with the correct answer and be there.
Hi, I'm Drew Warad. I'm a right winger and I play for the Oakville Blades. What I bring to the ice is speed, skill, tenacity. I like to skate hard, work in the corners, get the puck out when it's needed, make passes and make plays. My teammates are all hard workers, they're fun to be around, good guys, and they're all willing to go to battle with me. This year I think we're going to turn a lot of heads and surprise a lot of people. I think we've got a young group, but a very talented group, and once we get things going, I think we could really make a bang.
Welcome back. Well, the Georgetown Raiders are currently in a dogfight with Buffalo for top spot in the West Division. Just 3 points currently separate the two squads, with the Raiders in the lead, and it certainly appears this battle is going to extend throughout the regular season. So every point is crucial. Saturday, Georgetown was looking to hold on to its lead in the West as they hosted the St. Mike's Buzzers. St. Mike's had won 3 of its last 4 and actually currently hold that 8th and final playoff spot in the Southwest. They draw first blood on the power play, 6:45 in. Andrew Masters with the initial stop, but Cameron Wright, Johnny on the spot to knock it home. Buzzers lead 1-0. Late in the frame, though, keep your eye on Brendan Jacome right there as he gets knocked down, but from his knees finds brother Jack with the no-look pass. A little brotherly love, and Georgetown knots it up at 1 apiece. It stayed that way into the second period, where the Raiders blow it wide open. First, it's Matt Cairns stealing the puck, 2-on-1 Raiders. Brendan Jacome goes top shelf on Jacob McGrath to make it 2-1 Georgetown. And then 2 minutes later, Kyle Allen throws it out front here, and a mad scramble ensues in the crease. Matthew Piz knocks it home. McGrath is incensed. He thought there should have been a whistle. No dice, though, and it's 3-1 for the Raiders. Then another Buzzers turnover. It's the brothers Jacome once again, Jack to Brendan for the one-time howitzer. Those two were cooking last Saturday, 4-1 Raiders. Scary moment here in the third period for Georgetown as Jake Payette takes the full brunt of a one-time slap shot and drops like a sack of stones. That's 6'7" going straight down. That is a long way to fall. Right in the neck. Thankfully, the neck guard did its job. He was shaken, but okay. The Raiders add the final nail in the coffin soon after. 3-on-1. Moda to Malala. Aaron McDonald finishes. Clinical. Georgetown firing on all cylinders. 5-1 is your final. The Jacome brothers combining for 5 points between the two of them. Matthew Piz and Aaron McDonald had the other markers for the Raiders. Okay, the last time Kingston faced Markham, the Royals dropped them 7-4, so they were hungry for revenge. First period, V's power play, all kinds of craziness going down here. Ultimately, Colin Tonge smacks it past Nathan Colito, and it's 1-0 Kingston. They would add to their lead in the second frame, again with the man advantage. Jack Zielinski beats the screened Colito, who really doesn't see it there, and the V's go up by a deuce. 8:54 in now. Colito sees this one all the way. He just really liked to have it back as Zielinski victimizes him yet again. Ouch. Third period. Markham get on the board. Take it away, Joe.
Gonna poke it home. St. Ange. St. Ange. In front. God! Jeffrey!
Yeah, that made it 3-1 Kingston, but they kill any hope of a comeback 4 minutes later as Zach Amilafone does all the heavy lifting before handing it off to Connor Bob for the finish. Beautiful play. That made it 4-1. That is how it finished. So the V's avenge their earlier loss to the Royals. Every point crucial for Kingston right now as they trail Trenton by 6 points at the moment despite having played 2 more games. Lindsay headed south last Saturday to face the suddenly surging Patriots. 4:43 in. Pats captain Michael Siddall with the no-look pass to Jake Harris out front. Great feed. Toronto leads 1-0. The Patriots revved it up in the second period. 16-year-old Colton Kalezic looking like a vet here as he plays give and go with Logan Blazer. Nice play. And it's a 2-goal Toronto Bulge. Up 3-0 and on the power play. It's Nick Ursitti using the boards as a tool as he banks it here to Jake Harris for his second of the contest. Pats up by 4. Lindsay gets on the board courtesy a great solo effort by Nick Isaacson, who bends keeper Sam O'Reilly into a pretzel. Definitely one of the plays of the week, and it's 4-1. In the third, the Muskies make it interesting. First off, the mad scramble here. It's Geoff Weinman finishing it off with authority to cut the lead in half. And then Cedric Ralph gets sprung on the breakaway. He blasts it home. And it's just a 1-goal contest. Alas for Lindsay, that's as close as they would get. The Fish show great heart, though, by not throwing in the towel when down 4-0. Toronto gets the points, though. They've now won 5 of 7, including a massive 3-2 win over league leader Trenton last Friday. Okay, the NHL CSS watch list came out for November. 6 OJ players on there. Matthew Cairns from Georgetown, Josh Dickinson, Sam Dunn, Jack Jeffers, Luke Keenan, and Matthew Tom, also from actually 3 players from Georgetown on that list. Very impressive. If you'd like to find out the entire list of CGHL players on that list, head to ojhl.ca. The standings, let's see where all the teams currently sit in the North Division. Aurora leading the pack with 33 points, although Aurora has played 2 more games than Markham. In the East, Trenton looking dominant, just 2 regulation losses so far, 6-point lead over Kingston. In the South Division, a tie between Oakville and the JRCs on top right now with 34 points each. And in the West, Buffalo actually has retaken the lead from Georgetown, a 1-point lead, but Georgetown still has 3 games to make up that difference on the Junior Sabres. Our alumni update for this week, lots to share with you. Michael Carson of Drummondville named Q Third Star of the Week. Mitch Gillum of Cornell named NCAA First Star of the Week and ECAC Player of the Week. And Brendan Denham named AHA Offensive Player of the Week. Andrew Sturts of Penn State named Big Ten Second Star of the Week. Luke Shiplow named ECAC Rookie of the Week. And Dan Renouf named Hockey East Defensive Player of the Week, and he's currently playing for the University of Maine. Finally, Jonathan Leparco of Westfield State named Mascot Goalie of the Week. Dawson Spriggings Neskak Player of the Week. Spencer Finney named Suniak Goalie of the Week.
This year, the World Junior A Challenge celebrates 10 years with its first trip to Ontario. Will you be in Cobourg and Whitby when the puck drops? From December 13th to 19th, Canada East and Canada West face off with the Czech Republic, Russia, Switzerland, and the United States in the chase for gold. Ticket packages are on sale now, so visit hockeycanada.ca/WJAC today.
Welcome back. I'm joined in the studio now by the head coach of the North York Rangers, Brent Hughes, who, first of all, thanks for making the drive. This guy drove across city from Pickering in rush hour traffic just to be here. So thanks for doing it. I appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting season for you so far. Basically, it's breaking into 2 halves here. The first half of the season, you started out on fire. You only had 3 losses in your first 15 games. You were leading the South for a bit. What was clicking for you guys first when the season first started?
Well, it was a message I kind of sent to the guys from day one at training camp that our identity as a team, we're a team that's not going to be outworked. We may not have the most skill, but work ethic sometimes can dictate the outcome of the game. So, establishing good starts every game. I mean, especially with the league, it's such a short season, short training camp. The quicker you get out of the gates, it could pay dividends towards the end.
Right, and it definitely was for you guys for a while that you were rolling. So let's go to sort of the flip side of that now. Recently, a little bit of a slide. You guys had lost 8 of your last 10. We should mention, though, 2 huge wins over the weekend over Kingston. Obviously, it was a big one. But what's sort of been going wrong lately? What switched for you guys?
Well, number one is the injuries. I mean, I lost, Nick Campoli was our top goal scorer, Michael Morgan, Ted Hunt. Both my goalers at one point were injured, and I had a goaltender from our midgets, Jet, came up and played for us in Wellington. So, it's obviously a great thing that we have with our midget program. Rob Vester is head coach, great friend of mine, does a great job. So, that's a great perk for our organization. But starting to get the guys back now, healthy. The guys are battling through the sickness right now. It is that time of year, but getting the guys back, and then now after the All-Star break, guys are healthy and we're starting to get back on track here.
So if we're talking about the strengths of this team as you guys are getting healthy again, just pinpoint for us some of the strengths of the Rangers this year.
Well, I just think our depth. I mean, we're a team that can roll forward and roll our 6D. So at any point in the game, I mean, the only time I really cracked down was special teams. So missing some of those key guys who did play the special teams. There's other players who don't normally get the luxury, and they were playing power play. Again, all we were doing was scoring power play goals.
Right.
We weren't scoring 5-on-5. So, but again, like just getting those guys back just adds a boost of confidence throughout the whole dressing room.
So Campoli is back now. He was injured for a bit, and he's back now.
He was back and then blocked a shot, and he's kind of back on the IR right now. But hopefully, we'll find out more here in the next couple of days.
As they say, he's going to have some good karma though. If that's how he got injured by blocking a shot, it's going to come back in a positive way.
I mean, for a kid that age, I mean, for what he's doing right now, it's incredible.
It's incredible. So let's talk about Campoli then. He's your leading scorer right now, even though he is injured. What does he bring to the ice?
Just for not really knowing him coming in, as a kid who's a 99, his size, his strength, and his number one thing is his patience. I mean, a kid that plays that confident at that age, the sky's the limit for him. I got real high expectations for that kid, and he's a kid that lives and breathes hockey. And he goes home and watches hockey all night. So those are some, in this day and age, something that's a little bit rare to find.
Right.
But to me, he's one kid. I know it's early, but I could definitely see that kid going all the way.
Fantastic. Well, let's talk about for yourself. You're a veteran of this league. You played. I was looking at the thing I was going to say around the turn of the century, and it makes it sound both ancient when I say something like that, but it was back at around 2000. You played for the Thornhill Rattlers. Then you had a stint in the OHL, a pretty good stretch. You played for Peterborough. You played for Brampton Battalion. There was one other team, I think, that I'm missing in there. Or was all those two teams you played for?
Two.
And then back in Georgetown for a bit. Back into was the OPJHL.
Yeah.
But so you come back to the league this year. What did you notice about it that's different maybe from how it was 15 years ago?
Well, the game's definitely faster. The parity in the league is very strong. I mean, we knew every year going in who the top teams were going to be.
Right.
And this year, well, just even the last few years, I mean, every year is kind of up for grabs. I mean, the coaches and the organization all do a great job recruiting. And the players these days, I mean, back when I played, like in the summer, I played other sports. I played baseball, lacrosse, roller hockey, all that stuff. These kids now, it's a full-time job.
All hockey all the time, isn't it?
They got personal trainers on the ice, off the ice. They're bigger, they're stronger. Just the overall skill just gets that much better. And,
right.
And again, that's why the OJHL is one of the most highly scouted league. So the league is great right now.
Yeah.
And again, just going back, I think really the only difference is is a little more accountability on the ice. Back then, and the direction the league is going now, I think, is the right way. More for player safety. So the skilled players are allowed to be skilled, and so.
Before we go, we've got about a minute left. I wanted to ask you, last year, last 2 seasons, you were coaching the Brampton Beast of the ECHL. You were an assistant coach, and then last year you were the head coach. Then you come to the OJ this year. So just talk quickly about some of the interesting differences about coaching pros and then going and coaching junior kids the next year.
Well, I mean, as far as system-wise and stuff, it's a lot of the same. As far as with the kids, the younger they are, you even found with the younger guys in pro, I mean, they're sponges. They want to learn. And for me, I was one of the youngest, if not the youngest, coach in the ECHL last year. You do have players in your team sometimes that are older than you. You're dealing with guys who have families and kids. Mm-hmm. With the players now here in junior, they're young kids. They want to get better.
They got that heart and desire to go to the next level.
They want to move up, so they want to learn, and they're going to work.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're out of time. Thanks so much for being here, though. And we're looking forward to watching you guys at full strength once you get all the injured players back. So
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
All
okay.
right.
OJ Today returns in just a moment.
This year, the World Junior A Challenge celebrates 10 years with its first trip to Ontario. Will you be in Cobourg and Whitby when the puck drops? From December 13th to 19th, Canada East and Canada West face off with the Czech Republic, Russia, Switzerland, and the United States in the chase for gold. Ticket packages are on sale now, so visit hockeycanada.ca/WJAC today.
Welcome back to the OJ Today. Well, a 7-game losing streak to start the season signaled that this year's Toronto Patriots squad was going to be hard-pressed to provide its fans with a third consecutive OJHL playoff title. Yes, the Pats have had significant roster turnover and got much younger this year, but guess what? After that awful start, the Patriots are actually one of the hottest teams in the league right now, and we find out what's been working for them recently. And this week's team report brought to you by Muscle Milk. Muscle Milk, official sponsor of the OJHL.
Come on, White, here we go, White!
They say repeating as league champion is one of the most difficult tasks in sport. Yet that's exactly what the Toronto Patriots achieved last year. They won their second consecutive OJHL title, surprising even themselves. By their own admission, they'd had what they considered to be a fairly average season through the first few months.
We expect it to be more of a little bit of a rebuild year. You know, hopefully make the playoffs, but not really push for a championship. And by February, we came together like, you know what, we can make a run at this, and everything fell through good, and we won again.
Felt great. I mean, like, GTHL championship I've won a couple of times, but it's nothing in comparison to the OJHL championship. It took a lot of hard work, and it was a battle, and it felt great in the ending. Couldn't feel better.
Many key veterans graduated from the Patriots after last season, leaving them with a much younger squad. They lost their first 7 games to start the year, but since then have begun to gel and adhere to the system of new head coach Justin Tickle. Since mid-November, the squad has won 4 of their last 5.
So we're all set structurally. Let's make sure for the first 5 minutes we've got to set the pace, get pucks in deep, a lot of touches. Okay, let's play together, let's communicate. But today, let's focus, fellas. Hey, let's focus, okay, on winning our shifts. Well, let's win this period. Let's take it a period at a time, okay?
Coach Tickle, I mean, he's been great. He's really been not too hard on us. He lets us get out of our comfort zone out there. He always encourages us to go out there and believe we can win, and he's absolutely right. We got the talent, we got the hard work, and we can do anything as long as we just stick to our systems, which he develops great systems for us. We just got to follow them, and we'll be good.
I don't like the term rebuild. It's more along the lines of probably a retool, in the sense of, you know, there's some guys here that obviously are great to coach, but we had to make some changes, and we definitely have a younger bunch than probably what they're used to. A lot of guys have moved on from the team that they had the past 2 seasons, and you know, obviously we've had to bring in different bodies, so it just took a little bit of time to get used to each other. Obviously having a different staff come in as well, there's a little bit of a transition period that has to take its toll, but you know, we believe that it's doing it now, and our belief system, and as a group right now, everything's starting to come together for us, which we're pretty happy about.
Team captain Michael Siddall leads the squad in scoring, along with 20-year-old Connor Beck.
Oh, Michael Siddall, you know, he's a great player. I mean, he works hard, busts his and he's a great leader for the team. He finishes his checks, that's why he's our captain, right? He gets a team going. He's a leader out there for all the rookies, and even me as a second-year guy, he really shows me the way out there, and he plays hard and just doesn't give up.
Yeah, Connor Beck's been a great teammate for the last 2 years. Great guy in the room, chips in great on the ice, whatever situation you put him in. If you want him to be a goal scorer, if you want him to feed the puck more or do anything, he contributes any way he can. He does a great job.
Toronto has battled the injury bug and hope to have key forward Nicholas Ursitti back soon on the ice. Luis Di Matteo and Mario Ferraro have been solid on the blue line for the Pats.
Mario Ferraro is one of my favorite guys, probably that I've had the opportunity to coach in the last 10 years. It's kind of the same thing. It's a culture that we have here of guys working hard every single day. Mario's a guy that it doesn't matter what type of drill we're doing, he's doing it 100%, and it carries over into a game. And I think that he's a guy that's his energy and his work ethic is something that's contagious, and it's definitely rubbed off on a lot of guys this season, and I've seen that. So,
despite the fact they currently sit 5th in the South Division, out of a playoff spot, don't tell the Patriots they can't make the postseason. This is a squad with an abundance of self-confidence who feel it's entirely within their reach, especially if they keep up their strong play of late.
Let's hear it, cool.
Starting on center, we got Mike Siddall. Up on left, we got Harris. On right, we got Nolan.
We just play hard. As Coach Chico says as well in practice, it's about a belief system. We're overcoming adversity right now. As long as we just keep battling it and believe in each other, we can do this. We can get through this, and we can do some damage in the playoffs.
Just before we go, a look at the top 5 plays from the last week in the OJ. Number 5, Lindsay's Nick Isaacson with a burst of speed. He eludes the poke check and roofs it past Sam O'Reilly of the Patriots. Nice. Number 4, Stouffville's Michael Botes evidently does his stretching as he goes above and beyond the call of duty to rob Oakville's Ryan Garvey. Ouch. Number 3, Georgetown's Brendan Jacome from his knees, no look pass to brother Jack who finishes it. The Jacomes sharing the same brain waves on that one apparently. Number 2, the JRC's Anthony Trujillo with 14 seconds left against Whitby picks the top corner to break a scoreless deadlock. That was the winner for Toronto. And number 1, another game winner, Bryce Misley of Oakville with 1:48 left against Stouffville does it all himself here to beat Michael Botes and give the Blades the win. That is our OJ play of the week. And that's all the time we've got for this week. Just remember, though, head to the league website at ojhl.ca for all the up-to-date news, stats, and standings, on Twitter at OJHLofficial, and at facebook.com/OJHLofficial. Thanks for tuning in, folks. See you next week.